Hi, I'm Andy with Realty Trust Services. Thanks for watching this video. I just wanted to chat real quickly about tenant insurance. And first of all, I'll tell you just a quick two little scenarios that have happened recently as I shoot this video. We had a large insurance issue where the tenants had left for a week for a vacation. They came back, house had somehow, water had, something got frozen. They had turned it down the heat a little bit. I don't know exactly what happened. No one knows. But the pipes froze. Water went everywhere. It had been leaking for days. Ceilings had collapsed. Their stuff was damaged. They couldn't live in the house. And although the owner did prorate their rent that they had already paid for that month, they got some of that back. They had an emergency situation. Hotel was not paid for because the lease does not cover any of that. Their property was not paid for because the lease specifically says if your stuff is not insured, it's not paid for. And they didn't have tenant insurance. So these were two professionals, and they do okay for themselves. But they didn't have a lot of extra money to spend on all this stuff, and there were some important things that they lost. Not only that, they weren't able to come back to the house for a month and a half. And they had a very rough time. And there was nothing that we could do because the owner didn't have the money to pay for it. They weren't covered. They'd been advised in their lease. It says, you are not covered. You need to get tenant insurance. They didn't. So that's an example of people who didn't do that. And it was a very bad situation, made worse because they did not have tenant insurance. Tenant insurance is very inexpensive, usually between $9 to $15 a month. And it really gives you a lot of peace of mind. Another example where it did work out is we had an issue with a sewer backup, and there was raw sewage in the basement. We came in, did the work to fix it, but the tenant had materials in the basement that, or their own property in the basement that was damaged. And so they had tenant insurance. They came in, adjuster came out, and they wrote them a check. So they were restored, okay? Tenant insurance, as mentioned, can help with your hotel expenses and if there's an emergency. Oftentimes tenant insurance will cover animal liability. So if you have a dog and it bites somebody, and the way things work, you could get sued even if that person isn't hurt. It'll oftentimes cover dangerous dogs where the owner's insurance policy won't. In addition, it will cover things like damage to landlord's property often, depending on the policy. So that, did you know that if you cause damage, the landlord's insurance policy will cover the damage to the property, to the house, and then it may come and sue you as a tenant. So you need your own insurance to cover you, if that makes sense. And that's not to mention your personal property. Your personal property is only one part of it, but in a bad situation, you need to have some peace of mind that these things are going to be taken care of. You don't really think much about it or need it, but trust me, you'll be really happy to have it. Now, in times previous, our leases did not require tenant insurance, but when we've seen how much more smooth things goes when they go wrong because of tenant insurance, we've decided that moving forward, if you're watching this video, if you end up signing a lease with Realty Trust Services or renewing, we're requiring tenant insurance. And it's just because it's really good for tenants, it's good for owners, it's good for it just makes things smoother, gives everyone more peace of mind. So along with this requirement, we actually, it's not something that we really make a profit on, but in our software, we have a vendor that offers tenant insurance, and they set it all up and it just goes right into your account. So you can literally click a button and get it. It's real easy. If you're a current tenant, it's right in your portal. And you can just, there'll be a little advertisement if you log in. If you don't have a login, call our office at 440-427-0123 and ask for a login to your online account with us. If you're soon to be a new tenant, we welcome you, and we welcome working with you to have a safe experience renting our houses and full of peace of mind. So have a great day. Bye-bye.
Attention landlords! Are you interested in professional help, leasing, lease optioning, full-service management, or acquiring more investment property? If so, please call 440-220-7300 or email us at sales@propertymanagementoh.com. To get tips, tricks, and relevant Cleveland, Ohio investment and landlord information, please visit propertymanagementoh.com/news and subscribe to our newsletter.